do that. And instead of what I was hoping, and so I don't know if I'm trying to control you or I don't know what's going on, but instead of taking him at his level and saying, you know what you're doing right now, you're asking that, you're probably very angry at me, and you know, let's talk about that, let's talk about how you're angry at me. I felt like we took him on as an equal almost. And I don't think he's ever coming back. And so there's a part of me that says a movement requires people. And again, what Andrew was saying, you know, how can we get the people to part of this and change the world if we can't have, and I'm going to use the word compassion, for someone where they are. He had enough gay soul to be here, right? And so there's a lot of anger that he's not coming back because of what I am projecting as you had a right to do, you certainly had a right to do, but I'm hoping that you wouldn't have done as the mentor of pretty much this whole space. Woo! Oh, wow.
Congratulations, you got it out.
I did.
All right. Excellent. Thanks for the comment.
I would just like to add a postscript to my previous statement. My ability right now to deal with my kids is on such a low ebb that I didn't even acknowledge my own response, my inner response to what you said, which is abject fear that I'm not good enough to do anything to help the vision arrive. And that was missing from what I said to you before, and I just wanted to acknowledge that it's here.
Perhaps avoid modeling a more difficult, inferior place, even more challenging than others have been modeling tonight, that was supportive for you to be able to then come out more so with a vulnerable place in you.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Alton.
Hi, my name is Alton. I'll just throw it out there. There's a lot of toxic shame coming up, but there's a lot that I got from your speech, and something that we see, that I have personally seen in my own experience of being a gay man in society today, and where we're going. I have gleaned, I guess, that sort of vision and that energy of movement that we're going towards, and I'm at a place personally where I'm like, what is that? What are we moving towards? Because I know that the energy is now. We are in this time now. It's crisis now. Humanity's in crisis. What is our contribution to humanity? And when we talk about this idea of our vision of our group contributing, what is that? Because I know we're talking about a lot of things when it comes to psychology and self and dealing with the shadow. But humanity is dealing with its shadow now. And what ways can we contribute to that expansion? As you said, as above, so below. I think that's what's happening now. And yeah, that's it. There's a lot there, but
Was that a question? Or
just a statement. It's just letting it out.
Is some struggle around what the positive, hard to find in yourself the positive vision?
It's not holding the positive vision. It's sort of knowing what that vision is, because I feel that I have a sense of what that possibility is in us joining the collective of humanity and what that feels like. I know I have a sense of what that feels like, and that's what usually pulls me towards that vision. But what is that vision, and what does it look like? Does that make sense?
I wonder if anyone here has a response to Alton. Sheila?
I have the same feeling. My name is Sheila. And I'm listening, I feel like I'm listening to Maria Callas. And it is, I know that emotion of which she sings. And it's an amplification of that emotion. And it's, oh, I know that. I know that. And it adds the clarity. It just, you know, I can't sing that note yet, but I know that note. And I know that emotion of which it speaks. And that's what it feels like when it comes here. And even intellectually, like, oh, Yeah, I know that. I know that. And that it resonates. That's what it feels like you're saying, that it is there, that power is there. And it's resonating outside. And it's the amplification of my female love for another woman and your love for another man, that amplifies and out into the world is, to me, that's what I feel.
Wow. So something special about the love between two women is resonating, even as you hear Mitch speaking about the
Even
topics.
though Mitch, you don't sound like Maria Callas, but it sounds like
Absolutely. Ali.
Well, I guess it can be a response to that, although it's kind of also my own personal experience that I was having, which is that as you started speaking, I could feel myself getting more and more and more inspired. But it's kind of like a ride that had so many side stops. So I kept wanting to go on these tangents. And like in a way, the hearing of the note of Maria Callas sort of made me resonate in a place which kind of would get me inspired about my own self. And it would take me somewhere, and then I would suddenly come back, and you were like about two paragraphs later, and I would like get this anxious moment that, oh my God, I've missed something. There's something that's happened that like I've left out, like, you know, and I can't catch it. And what am I going to do? And you know, so, and then I was like feeling and angry that I couldn't pause you. Let me have my moments. And then I was like, well, why am I having that like reaction about like my moments, sort of like, you know, why can't I have those moments on my own? Why am I having to just get inspired here? In a way that you're modeling something, and say, so when you say this thing of what am I going to do, or what are we going to do to the community, it's like every moment be inspired. And be responsible to yourself around that inspiration with other people who are around you. If I could do that every moment with myself and with the people that are around me, rather than get caught in my shame and get sort of stupid, then I would be actively moving this vision, whatever that vision is, as it resonates in me. So I just wanted to kind of say, wow, for reminding me.
Wow. Alton?
But just to comment on that, yeah, I see that kind of interacting with my peers and the community and everything, and continuing that vibration of that energy. But it's so easy, as you mentioned also, to get dumbed down again. I mean, I was sharing the other day, I mean, I love my Britney Spears, I love my, you know, you get caught into that illusion of the commercial world again, and you're always fighting to hold this sort of energy out there. And there isn't much, it's not the popular thing, it's not, you know, it's not the thing that everyone, you know what I'm saying, it's just not there, and there's always this constant struggle to maintain that vibration with peers. So, that's it.
Wow, yeah. A lot of forces, internal and external, arrayed against realizing that vision. Marston?
Yeah, Marston. I was really moved when you were talking about and really valuing gay subjectivity. It's a part, and I can feel now as I'm trying to say anything to even speak up right now is really hard, because my own subjective experience has been so crushed, and that I struggle with every day. And I really, really was moved hearing you place such value on that. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone who hasn't spoken yet, we only have a few minutes left, who might like to say something. Yes.
Wow. I wasn't sure if I
Can you
wanted
say
to
your name?
speak. Ramon.
Ramon.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to speak just because I get really a lot of mixed feelings when I come to talks like this or get involved with people who do inner work, because in one sense it like I have to take ownership for my shit, which a lot of times when I go out to the real world or whatever that real world is supposed to be or whatever they claim it is, I end up going on this trip where I feel like I have to make sure that everyone does inner work so that I could sit back and they take ownership, make sure they take ownership of their shit, so I could ignore my shit. And so when I sit here, I do the same thing. I like sit and everyone's talking and taking ownership of whatever feelings are coming up, and I sit quiet here in the corner and I'm like, okay, I'm doing inner work, you know. And in reality, it's like, I'm not. I'm just sitting here and allowing others to talk about their shadows so that I could ignore mine. And so sitting here and even speaking up now, it's like creating all this feeling inside my body, which I detach from a lot. And that's why I'm so overweight, because I don't feel myself, you know. Usually, let's just go eat, you know, if feelings come up and stuff, and if someone brings something up, well, you deal with your shit, that's your shit, you know. And it's so easy for me to get in that pattern, and to hear a speech where it's telling me to own my shit, it made me just feel my body again. It was kind of a little surreal, and it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
No, it's, you know, because I have these hurt inner children that are just like, you know, they're starving, but not for food. They're starving for my love that I just deny them, but I fill it up with food so that I could, you know, shut them up for the moment. And so it's intense. There's like a lot of intensity coming up just from people speaking, hearing Mitch talk, and so just wanted to share that. It's very intense.
Well, it's amazing that you can feel so stuck, and yet then here you are speaking in front of all of us.
Yeah, I'm probably turning red, but it's very hard. But I felt like I needed to. It was my stomach was turning, my throat was clenching up, so.
Wow.
No.
Ooh, Thomas.
Young Thomas, one of the things that was so helpful to me tonight was in, Dr. Shane, just in being reminded that, you know, as painful as it can be to do this work, and it seems like I have those moments, like, you know, over and over where I feel so stuck and so stupid and so like, you know, like I'm kicking and screaming, I kick and scream and don't want to go there and don't want to deal with it. And yet, there's some part of me that will go through that, you know, and has been going through that year after year after year now. And, you know, it's like I want this experience of myself that you are evoking in this wonderful, wonderful way, you know. And I forget that I'm actually in the process of doing that, of getting there, of taking that on, you know, even when it feels like I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing here. But I have enough wherewithal and awareness at this point to be able to, you know, keep at it, and with a lot of help. And I'm so grateful for that. And I was also struck that it's, you know, the place that makes me feel so hopeless is the antithesis of this vision, the part that wants to destroy that vision. And it's my, you know, my phobia, my trauma, and all of that, you know, all of that robs me of the perspective of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. You know? And then I have moments like this where it's like, oh yeah, you know, and this, it's like, oh yeah, I want that, I want that. And you know, I'll get stuck again. You know? But so it was really good to be reminded of that.
Lots of big experiences, huh?
Yeah.
As you predicted.
All right, we're just at the point where we're running out of time. Maybe one last, yes, Phil?
I just wanted to say that I took a workshop with the Gay Men's Medicine Circle, and there were worthwhile things there, but at the end, I was like, I ran into a brick wall. And I later realized it's like a series of mind games that are designed to help you do an end run around your real problems. It's like they're convincing you don't have to face the shadow. If you follow these tricks, that will magically go away. And it didn't. It was like, bam. I got to the end and it was like, I was shocked. I felt so helpless. I didn't know what to do. I felt totally left without any tools and so it was shallow. It's a shallow approach, and it's a disservice, I think, to approach it in that manner. So that was my experience.
All right, well, that's going to have to be the end of our evening. Seems too short, but good rich food. Thank you so much, Mitch, for inspiring all of us. And please, for those of you who are interested in the intermediate level, that will be next week in the same room. Doug and Chris are here. You can talk to them if you're not familiar with that.
If you want more.
But
If you want more.
if you want more, right? If you want more, right?
Next week.
Yeah. So more engagement and more support, and then.